What's up, duders? Time for your daily dose of internet madness. Before we jump into this saga, and oh yes, it is a saga, let me set the stage. Our storyteller today is a member of the Built the Garage from a kit without a YouTube tutorial generation. And that's okay, it's part of his charm. As you listen, keep in mind, some stories hit you in the gut, some stories teach you something, and some stories make you go, oh buddy, everyone else saw that coming. Let's begin. Main post. I'm not much of a social media guy. I use my phone mainly for phone calls, which I understand makes me practically a historical figure nowadays. But my niece told me that if I wanted advice from strangers who don't know me and therefore can't be biased, I should post it on Reddit. So here I am, posting on Reddit, which sounds like a phrase a person shouldn't say out loud unless they want a teenager to stare with disdain. Anyway, my wife, Sheila, and I have been married 34 years. We got together young. She was 20, I was 23, and it wasn't exactly the fairy tale romance. I proposed in a Burger King parking lot after she told me her lease was up and I figured we could save rent by living together. But we made it work. 2 kids, mortgage, one of those prefab dining sets you assemble with the world's smallest Allen wrench. She's always been more social than me. She likes events, company parties, networking, Starbucks drinks with adjectives. I like my recliner, a newspaper, and pretending to watch football when I'm really asleep with my mouth open. So when she told me her company was sending her on a weekend training retreat, I didn't question it. She works in office administration at a regional insurance firm. I figured maybe they were teaching everyone how to use new software that would crash the moment it was needed. She packed a suitcase Friday, kissed me on the cheek, and said, "Don't eat frozen pizza all weekend." I said, "What if I bake 2 at the same time?" And she just shook her head the same way she has since 1989 and drove off. Saturday morning, I was sitting in the recliner reading the sports page. Yes, an actual printed paper. The kind that leaves ink on your fingers and makes people look at you like you just stepped out of a time machine. My phone buzzed. A text from Sheila. A photo. She was smiling, sunglasses on her head, hair blowing gently in the wind. Pretty as ever. But behind her, a beach, palm trees, clear blue water. The kind of beach you see in magazines that come with scratch and sniff sunscreen samples. And here's the thing. We live in Ohio. There are no palm trees in Ohio unless they're hanging from some Jimmy Buffett themed restaurant next to a beer neon. So I called. No answer. I texted. Looks nice. Company retreat? No response. I figured maybe she was in one of those spots where the phone bars disappear, like when I drive through the parking garage and Siri gives up on life. I went about my day until around 4 p.m., when she finally called me back. "Hey, sorry," she said. "Busy day. We had a workshop, then networking. Then someone suggested a group lunch on the boardwalk." Boardwalk, like in amusement parks, or oceans. My stomach did that thing where it feels like a roller coaster drop, but I tried to keep cool. "Oh," I said. "So where exactly did the company send you?" "Oh, same city, just outside of town." Now, and I'm not a suspicious man by nature, but you don't get Caribbean blue ocean outside of Columbus. Still, I swallowed it down. I don't immediately assume betrayal. First we assume an internal corporate accounting error. We said goodnight. She said she was exhausted and going to bed early. I told her I'd watch a movie. I ended up watching half the movie and then spent the rest of the night Googling nearest ocean to Columbus, Ohio, like an idiot. There wasn't one. Shocking. Okay, let's pause right here. Sheila, what are you doing? While our dear OP is trying to solve the mystery, the rest of us are already screaming into the void. She's on a beach, my man. Sometimes love makes us wear emotional sunglasses, the kind that block out red flags in high definition. Proceed. Sunday evening she got home around 7. I was sitting at the dining room table, not my preferred location for serious discussions, but figured I'd look more respectable sitting upright instead of crumpled into the recliner. She walked in, suitcase rolling behind her. "Hey honey," she smiled. I showed her the photo on my phone. This doesn't look like Cleveland. Her whole body stiffened. Her face didn't fall dramatically, like one of those soap opera fainting spells. Just tightened, like she'd held in a crap that slipped out emotionally. "Well," she said, "I didn't want to worry you, Turns out, according to her version, the company decided last minute to upgrade the retreat to a coastal location because another vendor pulled out and they'd already paid. This story could have used workshopping. Now, I'm not perfect. I spent a decade thinking Bluetooth was something you got if you ate too many blueberries. But even I know companies don't change event cities the day of and expect attendees to pack for beach weather spontaneously. I told her straight. Was it a work trip or something else? She sat down. She looked tired. Not physically, emotionally. "It was complicated," she said. Now, gentlemen listening at home, when your wife of 34 years starts a sentence with "it's complicated," you're about to learn a truth you don't want. packaged in a sentence you definitely don't deserve. She admitted there was someone else, a co-worker. It had been going on about 3 months. They'd gone to the beach for the weekend together. She said she didn't plan for it to happen. She said she didn't know how to tell me. She said the marriage had been growing stagnant, like I'm old milk in the back of the refrigerator. I won't pretend I stayed composed. My voice cracked. My hands shook a little. I'm not one of those silent, rugged cowboy types. I cry at those commercials where the dog waits for the soldier to come home. I told her I felt blindsided. I told her I thought we'd been fine. Maybe boring. Sure. But boring together. I was content. I didn't know she wasn't. She cried. I cried. Then we sat quietly like two strangers waiting for different bus transfers. She slept in the guest room. I stayed up in my recliner, listening to the house make settling noises and thinking about every holiday, every road trip, every time she told me love you over the last 3 months. Reality hits harder when it comes slow. Monday morning, she left for work early. I took the day off, told my boss I had family issues, which is office code for my life is falling apart like overcooked lasagna. I spent the morning walking circles around the block like a confused Roomba. Then, and this is embarrassing, I went through our photo albums. Not the digital ones, the real ones with plastic sleeves and that glue paper backing that smells like kindergarten craft time. Every picture I looked at, I wondered, was that the same woman? Was I the same man? My neighbor, Randy, noticed me sitting outside on the porch and said, "You look like someone stole your lawnmower." I almost said, "Close, they stole my marriage," but I didn't want him telling the entire cul-de-sac before I'd even processed it myself. That evening, Sheila came home and said she wanted counseling, that she didn't want to throw away 34 years. I said I needed time. I'm not a man who rushes decisions. I spent 6 months researching which grill to buy once. This was going to take longer. Update post, 3 weeks later. I didn't expect to come back to this site, but my niece told me there were a ton of comments and advice. I didn't read them all. I'm still recovering from the emotional overload of the grocery store self-checkout voice talking too loudly. But here's the update. Sheila and I have been attending counseling once a week. It's not easy. The therapist keeps asking me to explore my emotional landscape, and I told her my emotional landscape looks like a strip mall in winter, empty and nobody wants to be there. But I'm trying. Sheila ended the relationship with a coworker. She showed me the messages where she told him it was over. I didn't read their old messages. I don't need that kind of pain parked in my brain rent-free. We've had hard talks. Real ones. The kind we didn't bother having for years because we were in that functioning roommate marriage phase without realizing it. She told me she'd felt invisible, that I stopped listening, that I was always in the recliner, disconnected. I told her she should have spoken up, that we promised each other honesty, even when it stung. The counselor said, 2 people can sit next to each other for decades and still feel alone if they stop turning toward each other. That one hit me right in the chest. Sheila has been making real effort, more than I expected. Cooking dinner together, date nights, car rides where we actually talk instead of sitting silently listening to the oldies station while I pretend not to sing along. She asked what I wanted. I said I want to feel chosen again. We're rebuilding, slowly, not pretending it didn't happen, but trying to make what comes next stronger than what was before. We're both at fault for how bored the marriage got. She made the worst choice, no doubt, but I wasn't showing up either. We started walking together in the evenings, holding hands like we're kids again. And I'll admit, some part of me feels alive for the first time in a long while. I don't know how the story ends yet, but for now, we're trying. Well, that was a journey, wasn't it? Look, it's easy, sitting behind a screen, to yell run, or dump her, or give me her number, I'll do it for you. But real life isn't binary. Long marriages are complicated. Love stretches. Sometimes it frays, sometimes it snaps, and sometimes, miraculously, it knots itself back together. Our OP isn't an idiot. He's a man who is comfortable, then shaken awake by the kind of emotional earthquake nobody asks for. And instead of collapsing, he chose the hardest option. Stay and fight for the thing that mattered. That deserves respect. And let me just say, if you're listening while folding laundry, or commuting, or laying in bed staring at the ceiling, remember, people can drift quietly but fall loudly. Marriage isn't maintained automatically, and when something breaks, fixing it hurts, but sometimes the repair makes the structure stronger than new. Life isn't a fairy tale. It's duct tape, tough conversations, late-night doubts, and hopefully, slow forgiveness. The lesson? Cherish the people you love while they're still close enough to hear you. Don't wait until you're analyzing beach photos in Ohio. That's all, folks. Don't forget to update the video. Thanks for listening, and I'll catch you in the next one. Doot doot.